So Janine, with your work in company culture, why don't you give us 3 of your top tips around what founders can do to bring people first cultures into their business?
Yeah, so my first tip would be, which might sound a bit bizarre because you've asked me how founders can be more people first, is to focus on yourself. And with that, I think it takes a lot of sort of, and I know getting to know yourself is a lifelong work, but it's about being more vulnerable and self-accepting who you are. And I think at a really basic level, that's just things like knowing what you're good at and what you're not, and being honest and open about that. So if you're going to create this team where you want people to be there to come and be themselves and be authentic, you've got to produce this environment that allows people to be okay with messing up and learning from that. And I think, you can't really ask people to do that until you're willing to sort of hold your hand up and say, I don't quite know this, and I don't have the answers for this. And I think that takes a lot of courage. But it's leading by example, and it's going to create an environment that means there's a lot of genuine connection as a team. There's a lot of more fun and laughter. There's things like psychological safety. People are going to produce way more better work if they feel like they can fail happy. There's so much fear at the moment in the world, and I think people, they want to be in this safe place where they can just be themselves, and I don't think we have enough of that in the workplace.
So your second thought or consideration.
Yeah, so the second tip is to energize people to find meaning in their work. So yes, we all go to work, to pay the bills. But I think, when we talk about meaning as well, it doesn't need to be saving dolphins or, a purpose that's, saving the environment. While all those things are great, right? But if you know that your work is contributing to the success of a business, or how that small piece of work that you're doing is impacting the business in a really meaningful way, then people are gonna feel much more connected to their work in general. And I think, even at a junior level, where there's companies where there's times where we're feeling micromanaged constantly. And I think people, if they know their true sense, that they have more of a self of sense, if they're connected to their work in that way, then they're going to produce better results as well. And there's lots of things that founders can do to sort of create that environment, like strengths-based work, giving constant feedback for people, making sure people have got really purpose-led goals, celebrating great work. But yeah, I think just more a sort of simple level, it's just find a way to help people feel energized.
Yeah, nice. Very cool. Very cool. And number 3.
So number 3 is see the value in giving everyone a voice. So I think when it comes to being people first, there's a lot of cultures created from the top. You hear that being thrown around a lot, but actually I think culture is something that needs to be discovered, not designed. So I don't know how many companies out there can truly answer the question in an interview when people say, what's the culture like here? They're often basing that on what they think the culture is like, or what their team is like. But actually, if you're listening to people, you're giving everyone a voice. They're going to feel seen, heard, and valued. And you're going to be able to, you have a truer understanding of the culture in itself. And I don't think culture engagement surveys, or whatever you want to call it, it shouldn't be seen as like this tick box exercise. Actually, if you're going to listen to your people, you really, really need to listen to their feedback, ideas, take it on board and action it as well. So I think, yeah, tip number 3 is see the value in giving everybody a voice.
Really cool. Very nice. Thank you very much for that. I really, really appreciate those lovely tips, and I'm sure that'll be really helpful for all of those watching.